front of you your Understanding the Discriminant paper from yesterday and the day before. Hopefully you have them all calculated, and we're going to use those answers and apply them to the quadratic formula today. So what I would like to do is start with number 1. So and when I say number 1, what we're going to do is start with problem number 1 from Understanding the Discriminant. So we're gonna work on this problem right here. So what I would like you to do is take that problem and write it in your notes. But let's title our notes the quadratic formula. So quadratic formula. And we obviously need to get the quadratic formula written down in our notes. So x is equal to negative b, opposite of b, plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 times a times c. All of this needs to be divided by 2 times a. So a couple notes that we should make on this so that when you get to it, you know what to do. This part right underneath here, that's underneath the radical sign, what is that thing called? It's called the discriminant. Very good. And you guys should be comfortable with that at this point. It is called the discriminant. So let's label that. And when you are using the quadratic formula, my suggestion is to calculate the discriminant before you do anything else. It'll make everything else easier. That's the discriminant. And I also want to make a note that that thing out in front of the b, it says negative b, but I like to think of it as the opposite of the b. So if it already is negative, in the formula it's going to be a positive. So let's label that as being the opposite. So now what I would like you to do is look at your discriminant value from problem number 1 from that paper that we just had out in front of us. So looking at this paper right here, I'm going to use x instead of p, 6x squared minus 2x minus 3. Let's get that in our notes. And I'm going to switch out of here, so I'm going to need someone to read it to me here in just a second. That problem was, what was it,
p squared
x, I'm going to use x, 6x squared
minus
2x
minus 3 equals 0. All right, so when you are using the quadratic formula, you need to have the discriminant. Well, the value of the discriminant in this case, b squared minus 4 times a times c was equal to, you guys already calculated it. What did you come up with? You get 76. Yeah, b squared minus 4ac is 76. So what I'm going to do is take that value of 76 and I'm going to put it into the quadratic formula. So x is equal to, according to the formula, you need the opposite of the b value. Well, the b value in this case is a negative 2. So what is the opposite of negative 2? Positive 2. So it's 2 plus minus. That's where our two solutions come from. We have a positive, we're going to be adding some things together, and we're going to be subtracting. All right, the formula says plus or minus the square root of what? Yeah, of the discriminant, which we just figured out is 76. So I put a 76 here, and then all of this, notice my underline ends at the 2. It doesn't go underneath the x equals. It stops right here after the 2. I should say before the 2, divided by 2 times a. Please do the 2 times a part in your head. The a value is 6. What is 2 times 6? 12. Just put a 12 here. If you leave it as 2 times 6, that's just more for you to clean up later. So leave it just like that. Now, the other day, I gave you guys some problems to do. I'm going to actually show you which ones I'm talking about. It looked like this. Yeah? You remember doing this the other day? And when you did this, you had to come over here to the side and you had to make a had to make a tree. I'm gonna forget that. Oh gosh, here we go. Okay, never mind. We had to make a tree. We had to make a tree for the 72. Do you remember doing that?
Yeah.
You had to make a tree, and then you had to simplify this, and then we made two separate fractions out of it, and then we simplified the fractions. We are now at a point in the quadratic formula where we have problems that look just like these. So we're going to apply the stuff that we did here to what we are doing now. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
All right. Let me get rid of this. So what we're going to do is go to the side of our notes, and we're going to do a tree for 76. We have it looking like this, 2 plus or minus the square root of 76 over 12. We're going to make a tree for the 76. So go to the side of your paper, do a tree for 76. I need some help. 76. Locke, can you put your head up, please? 76 is what? 2 and 38. 2 is prime. 38 is not prime. What can I do to the 38? 2 and 19. I circled a 2. 19 is 19 prime.
Yes.
Nothing will multiply to give you 19 except 1 and 19, therefore it is prime. So I circle that. You look for pairs of numbers. Every time you have a pair, you write it down. We have a pair of 2's. So 70, square root of 76 is actually equal to 2 square root of the leftover, which is 19. All right? I'm going to grab myself a new page here, but I'm going to maybe need some help remembering what this says. So we are going to, we had 2 plus or minus the square root of 76 divided by 12. That was x equals. And we just simplified that and made it 2 plus or minus 2 radical 19 divided by 12. What did we do next? Yeah, we made them into 2 separate fractions. So this is equal to 2 over 12 plus or minus 2 radical 19 over 12. I just separated them, put them over 2 fractions, made 2 fractions out of it. Now you reduce each part. What is 2/12 reduced? 1/6. And if you don't know that, type 2 divide 12. What were the magic buttons to reduce a fraction? Math, enter, enter. 2 divide 12, math, enter, enter, you get 1/6. Plus, minus, 2 over 12 reduces to 1 over 6 again. Is it always going to happen like that? No. Just, it happened to this time. So you have 1 over 6. Well, we have to insert that square root of 19 next to the 1. Those are our 2 answers. Now, when we calculated the discriminant, you guys, remember when we did b squared minus 4ac, that was part of your work from yesterday, you got 76? What did that mean? 76 is positive, so it told you that you had what kind of solutions? 2. It had 2 solutions. Do we have 2 solutions?
Yes.
We do have 2 solutions. One of them is 1/6 plus 1 times the square root of 19 over 2. The other answer is 1/6 minus 1 times the square root of 19 over 6. These are our 2 solutions. I want to run through one more example with you, and then I'm going to stop talking, and you guys can try some of these on your own. So let's look at from your papers, let's look at problem number 8. Problem number 8. You should already have a value for the discriminant there. Number 8 said this. This is number 8 from your using the discriminant paper. Negative 2x squared minus 8x minus 14 is equal to negative 6. The first thing we had to do was put it equal to 0. So so you should have added 6 to each side. Negative 2x squared minus 8x. You add the negative 14 and the 6 together, it got you negative 8. Now it's equal to 0. Then you were able to calculate the discriminant. I'm not going to run through that. If you need another explanation of that, I do have a video on it where I can tell you individually. But when you did b squared minus 4ac, what did you get? Do we need to do it? You should have had 0. You should have had 0. B squared minus 4ac is 0. What did that tell you? If you had 0, it meant what? You're going to have one solution. One solution. So keep that in mind. When you're doing this, you should only be getting one answer. We do this for a reason, so you know what you're looking for in the end. All right. X equals. Use your formula. Opposite of B. B is negative 8. What is the opposite of negative 8? Positive 8. Plus, minus, the square root of what number?
0.
That thing right there. 0. Why do we do it? Divided by 2 times A. Please do the math in your head. 2 times A. Well, A is negative 2. Right here. That's the A value. 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. All right. So, last problem, remember we had to go over here to the side. We had to do a tree for 76. We had to put it in simplest radical form. Well, let's do a tree for 0. What's the square root of 0?
0.
It's 0. Our tree is done. Isn't that great? So when you get 0, that's a good thing. There's no work. So what that means is this. X is going to be equal to negative, not negative, positive 8 plus or minus 8 plus or minus 0 divided by negative 4. Well, think about that. What's negative 8 plus nothing?
Nothing.
8.
Negative
Did I say negative 8 again? What is 8? That's not supposed to be there. What is 8 plus 0? 8. Divided by negative 4. Negative 2. So x is equal to negative 2. How many answers should we have? Do we have our answer?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's do another one. 8 minus 0. What's 8 minus 0? 8. It doesn't matter if you add or subtract 0 from 8. You're still the same thing. And you're dividing it by negative 4. So what is 8 divided by negative 4? Negative 2, but you know what? It's the same answer. You don't write it twice. Same answer. You have one answer. It is x equals negative 2. You ready to try some? Yes.
Can we do one on top of that have the negative one?
Nope. We're not doing one with a negative in it yet because we're going to do them on Monday. I'm not going to do that to you on a Friday. I feel better about doing that to you on a Monday. Okay?
That's even worse.
Because it is even worse. You are right. It's even worse. No, it's like so great. I just want to start your week off with something really great.
That's awesome.